am doing a vertical live stream today to do my push to 12,000. I normally do these things in the evening, and I wanted to do something in the morning-ish. It's about 10:02 a.m. my time, because I wanted to maybe capture a different audience that doesn't get to hop on when I do these streams later on in the evening. So it's always, start out waiting for people to hop on. You're doing the filler content or whatever. So for anybody listening to this later on, um, let me know in the comments how your week has been going. It's been an interesting week, couple of weeks for me. I think, everybody tends to have seasons of life that they go through, and that, hey, people just joining. Hey, chronically resilient says, hey, Jen, I love your necklace. Thank you so much. I actually got it on an Etsy store. I previously had like a tiny little, if I remember, because I think I said in my very first live stream ever that I would link to it, but so that other people could go on and support this wonderful gal that makes such awesome jewelry. But I like the little dainty necklaces, and I had a cute one with a circle in it, and then I lost it. So that made me very sad. So I got this one instead, and I've been wearing it every day since. Hi, Ridley. How's it going? You guys can hear me okay, right? Like thumbs up if you can hear me. So I was just saying before, some of you guys started hopping on that, first of all, normally I do these live streams in the evening, and I know that, hey, Joe, I'm still going to call you Joe, the autistic rebel. The artist formerly known as Joe. You've been putting out a ton of content lately. All right, squirrel. So I normally do these things in the evening, and I know that I've got listeners all over my evening, and I've got listeners all over the world that, may not be able to make those. I have never done one in the morning like this before. I did have my coffee, but forgive me if I'm, it's like 10 a.m. You guys ever do that when you wake up? It's just like, all right. Yes, so chronically, I will try to remember to link to it. Remember, Jennifer. Remembering is so hard with the ADHD. Okay, we are, and by we I mean me, I am at 11,992 subscribers. So I need approximately, definitely 8 more to hit 12,000. So I figured I would hang out with you guys here. And if you have not subscribed, please do so and help me reach 12,000. I don't know why. It's a nice even number. Other YouTubers do this, right? They hop on and help me get to 13. I don't do that every 1,000, right? But wild hair up my butt today, so I was like, let's do this. All right, Jenna. Hey, Jenna, how's it going? Dylan says, hi, Jen. It's good to see you here, Dylan. Thanks for joining. Hi, Tim. It's great to see you. Tiwaz. Goal is too low. Aim high. Do a 50K now. I like that. You know what? If you don't ask for it, if you don't try for it, then the answer is no, right? So, damn it, we're going to stay here until I hit 50K. That's hilarious. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. I think it would turn into the Truman Show at that point. We'd all spend a year together. You guys would see some of my nasty habits. We don't need that happening on YouTube. So I'm happy with 12K for now. That would be awesome. I'm just refreshing my screen. Um, I lost a subscriber. What happened? One of you guys unsubscribe. Somebody was like, we're going to make this extra difficult for her. um, so let's see what some of you guys are saying. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Tiwaz says. Yes, this is correct. Chronically Resilient says, OMG, not the Truman Show. Yeah, that's an oldie but a goodie. Tiwaz says they unsubbed so they could sub again. um, yeah, maybe that's what they did. Um, so this morning I was dropping my kiddo off at the bus stop at school, and Dr. Dre's Forgot About Dre came on, you know? I got real excited about that and started jamming out to it pretty loud. And my son was just like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I'm awesome. I don't know. I can't cure this level of awesomeness, but you guys remember that song? That was a good song. Um, Brought back a lot of memories. And then when I got home, I was thinking about it and I was like, why is it that the music that we grow up with becomes our genre? Like, why doesn't it kind of change as we grow older, you know? Like I mean it does and it can, but it's like whatever you were listening to in your teens and early 20s, thereabouts, that just kind of becomes your defined genre of music for some reason. Um, so my era was the 90s. I'm a 90s baby. We grew up with, um, you know, dang, I remember when computers came out and, excuse me, they were like $7,000. That was back in the 90s. So, hey, Mike, it's good to see you. What time is it where you're at, man? Chronically says 2000s emo music is forever salve to my soul. It's so soothing. I mean, that's if that's your jam, yeah, for sure. I think mine was a little bit alternative, and I got into you know, did you guys have inspiration for music? Hi, Stephanie. Uh, Kind of time to stop work, Mike says, but I gotta do some reading, and it's 5:09 p.m. where Mike is at. Um, all right, so it's evening for a lot of you guys. Yeah, I'm okay, I need to finish one thought at a time. So I kind of started out liking I had an inspiration for my music was Type was my older brother, and he used to listen to a lot of electronica, a lot of like Tangerine Dream. I don't know if any of you have heard of that. That's so niche and out there. But he used to do this thing called Ride the Rockies, where I don't even I think it was like 500-mile bike ride or something like that. I don't know if they do that anymore, but tons of people would sign up for this 500-mile bike ride and it lasted for like a week. I'd have to look that up. Ride the Rockies. Um, oh, it says 2024. Oh yeah, so it's 300 to 500 miles. I wasn't that crazy far off, you guys. I did good. So each night you would have a support vehicle that would follow you, ideally, to set up camp at the next meeting spot. And so I joined my brother's then girlfriend at the time and to participate in being his support vehicle and setting up the tent for when he got from, spot A to spot B. And we would just sit in the car and listen to whatever music he had in there. And that was just kind of a memory for me. And so, like, from there on out, it was electronica for me. And that's kind of what I'm into now. And I know that that's totally not everybody's cup of tea, right? That is, I mean, there's a lot of music out there that's very mainstream that probably applies to a much broader audience, but electronica is it's my thing. But I like more of the like melodic trance, and I know I've said that before. So it's not just like dubstep, you know. But that was kind of my inspiration for that music. It was my older brother, and then because he had all the cool gadgets, like he was the cool kid growing up. He had the huge towers behind the glass with all of his radio equipment. Um, he had all the latest and greatest equipment that now we would laugh at, you know, like 8 tracks and stuff like that. So, but he was also into like Enya, and I really like Enya still to this day, and stuff like that. So, mixture of that, 90s alternative. Yep. Um, so, hi, Shape of Soup. Mike. I know I do that every time Mike hops on. I'm trying not to get on Mike's bad side. Um, Cats and Clops says, Enya, OHM. What does OHM stand for? Oh, hell, man. Makes sense to me. All right, Jenna G says she loves Enya. All right, thank you. I am not alone. Um, you know, not recently, oh my gosh, what is that composer's name that has a lot of stuff in movies? But he was here recently. Oh, damn it. Can't remember what his name is. Oh, Hans Zimmerman. So he was recently in Colorado for a concert, and it was kind of funny because two separate people that I was talking to were talking about going down to the Belco Theater or wherever he was hanging out, doing his thing. And I had no idea that this composer did live concerts. Like that's a thing because it's very orchestral. And I was talking to two different people, and they were both going to the same show, and I was like, that's awesome, you know, just small world happenings. But I had no idea, and apparently sometimes Enya just becomes a surprise guest that shows up there. I'm like, how does she do that? Because I know she had to record several tracks of herself singing, because that's her whole shtick, is that it's all her doing everything. Like, how does she do that live? I don't know. I'd be curious. I would love to see that. But have any of you heard of Hans Zimmerman? What is some of his famous work? I know he did the soundtrack for Gladiator, that song, and I added that to my playlist whenever I would game. Oh, not Zimmerman, excuse me. Oof, Hans Zimmer. Tiwaz says, yeah, he's pretty well known. But see, I don't know. I thought I was cool with that one. I thought that I was like, oh, I actually put this guy on my playlist, and everybody's like, yeah, we all know him. And I was like, all right, thought I was, you know, in some inside circle, and here he is like doing concerts, and he brings his orchestra with him and everything. So, so that's pretty cool. Um, oh, yes, Jenna. He did do Pirates of the Caribbean, didn't he? Um, Shalom 12 says, sorry, that is my washer and dryer. I'll never forget Inya's only time at nap time in school. Oh, how many other 90s babies had that played to them and it put everyone to sleep on command? LOL, scary. It's okay, Jenna. She said, oops, Zimmer. Yeah, I did the same thing. Zimmerman, Zimmer, whatever. Simmer down. Simmer down. All right, so all right, we got one more subscriber back, so we're dead even now, where we were before. just 8 more to go. So if you guys have not subscribed, check your subscriptions. Let's push me there, so that we're not sitting here all day. Come on, people. This is the assignment. Just kidding. Mike, are you still here? I reached out to Mike and I asked him if he has tide pools, a lot of tide pools in Isle of Man, because that's my next goal. I think, to go and see some tide pools, preferably with little creatures in them. I assume that is the description of a tide pool, is they have little creatures in them. But that would just be so neat. So what kind of animals do you find in these tide pools, Mike? That's what I want to know. But not too long ago, my husband and I went to La Junta, Colorado to see the tarantula migration. And I'm sorry, hopefully there's nobody out there that Mike said marine ones. Oh my gosh. If I was there, I would punch you for that one. But you're not lying. You're not lying. So anyways, we took a trek down to La Junta, Colorado, which is maybe around 2.5 hours away, so not too far away. But it's basically southern Colorado near the Comanche National Grasslands. And sorry, Katzen. I'll make my story short then. Katzen says spider if you're here. I'll make it short. I'll try to make it short. But I love them. And, I like to apparently structure my vacations around going to see little animals because that's what brings me joy. But this tarantula, it's not a migration. They call it a migration, but it's actually just a walkabout is what it really is. And they're out trying to find love. And they come out in, mostly September and October. And they will move about after sunset or just right as sunset is happening. So it's like 2 months for like 1 to 2 hours that you really get to see them. And they are just, to me, they are majestic and beautiful. And they are so delicate and gentle. And I really, really, I tried so hard to hold one. I did hold one, and he was just such a sweet little guy. So sweet. And it's awesome that, I'm raising a son who is not, fearful of them. No, nothing wrong with people who are fearful of them. Not saying that that's a bad thing, just don't kill them would be all that I would ask. But I totally understand the fear. But these guys are just precious and completely harmless, and their tiny little delicate bodies, when you try to hold them, it's addicting. All right, so I'll get off of that, but the cutest thing is that this whole tiny town, this little town, that is their claim to fame. I don't know what the population of La Junta, Colorado is. Look, I keep like fact checking myself because I have this computer right here that I can just do that. 7,000, just a little over 7,000. So actually not as small as I thought, but it's an older town that was probably built in like, mid 1800s or whatever. There's a lot of really old buildings there and old churches. And then, people just kind of left, and there's not a lot there for people to stick around for. So it's a small town, and that is their claim to fame, is this migration. And they have a festival. And I don't know if I should show you guys this. I don't know if I can even like get it on screen, but I got a little temporary tattoo of a tarantula. And my husband was like, with your ADHD, you're going to forget that that is on there, and you're going to look down and be like, ah! I haven't done it yet. But anyways, I know Orion had some like more semi-permanent tattoos, like, you know, they still washed off or whatever, but they lasted for a few weeks. But this is like the old school 25-cent thing you get out of a gumball machine that will come off with my next shower. But that's as far as I go with tattoos. Hey, Zach likes the, you guys, I don't want to brag or anything, but yeah, pretty badass now. I've got a spider tattoo. Sadly enough, well, because you know, not everybody appreciates the tiny little creatures like I do. And, you know, people come from all over to see this migration. And there was one guy that purposely ran over one. And that made me real mad. I didn't see it. I didn't witness it. Or I might have, I don't know what I would have done. I would have shaken my fist at him vigorously. I was very upset to hear about this. But anyway, so later on, I was telling my husband that, you know, because I got my little spider tattoo, I was like, I need a little like teardrop tattoo, you know, to cry for our fallen tarantula brothers that people so cruelly went out of their way to run over. No, that's not what the teardrop tattoo is actually for. The teardrop tattoo, I have heard, word on the street is, that is if you have murdered someone. And I can't claim that. I have not murdered anybody. Like, nobody. So, I can't claim that. John B says, sorry if I'm like shaking, but when I try to read the comments, I'm doing the vertical. I didn't want to set everything up. So, John B says, I got a Final Fantasy VII tattoo on my right arm and it hurts so much. Oh, how long ago did you get that? More spiders equals less mosquitoes, so I like them. Unclepicos says, yes, I agree. And flies. Oh, yeah, Zach. Yes, yes, I think teardrop tat means you killed someone. So I probably should have like poured out a 40. I think that's what you do for your fallen brethren. Right? Anybody? Hello? All right, I'm sorry. I asked Mike a question of what marine animals could be found in these tide pools. Oh, hi, Hell's here. Oh, Hell put the little autism creature because she's a member, so she can do that cool little sticker there. But I'm trying to scroll up and said, Mike, is this a trick to get me spam your chat? Yes, spam my chat with, all right, so coastal creatures that inhabit the water column between high water and low water. All right, so that's all I got out of Mike about the tide pools. But yeah, I'm serious. That's my next destination is tide pools. Wherever I can find them, wherever a good spot is, if you guys know. But I don't know, Mike knows some stuff about marine biology. I don't know, something along those lines. Hi, Carla says, so my grammar is bad. The festival is in Coarse Gold, which is about 40 minutes away from where I live. It's near Yosemite. So presumably you were talking to somebody else. Smile with me says, I'm allergic to mosquito bites, so I am guilty of killing some. Oh, mosquitoes? Now that's, I'm sorry, I'm a speciesist, but that's one that's okay to kill them, man. I'm sorry. I really try to respect all life, but those mosquitoes, nah, man. No, no, thank you. Okay. I have O negative blood, which apparently they like more. And so if you wear dark clothing and have O, I guess, then yeah, they'll come after you more. So no fan of the mosquitoes. All right. So Mike finally says crustaceans, crabs. I did know what crustaceans were. So, but thank you for making sure I knew what those were. Coastal fishes, various seaweeds, prawns, shrimps, maybe even nudibranches. That sounds naughty. Oh, Carla said, yeah, there's a tarantula awareness festival end of October there. Oh, cool, 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 cool. Oh, Shape of Soup says, I'm O positive. So, all right, now we're going to start spamming the chat with our blood types. Um, but I am the universal donor because, so my blood type is what they carry on helicopters because that is, I can only receive my type. That is it. That is it. But there's a fascinating concept out there called RH null. Have you guys ever heard of this? RH null. There's like 60 people in the whole entire world that, oh, Zach has a sidetrack for me. Um, like 68 people in the whole 60 people in the whole entire world that have this, and it's like they have no RH factor whatsoever, plus or minus. And so this one guy that I was reading about literally has to donate blood to himself in order to go anywhere. So the hospitals where he lives has to have stores of his own blood because he literally can only receive his own blood if something happened. Could you imagine? And then, the article went on to talk about the ethics of, you know, are you required to donate? Obviously you're not required to, but what are the moral requirements? Because that RH null is the truly, truly, truly like universal, because anybody could receive that. And so for like, sick babies that could only receive that for whatever reason, like, are you morally obligated to donate? Like, it's such an intriguing question. But he could not travel away from the hospital where he had stores of his own blood because if he got into an accident, he would be screwed. So I don't know. Tangent, little interesting things. Okay, so Zach had a sidetrack question for me. Zach says, I might be talking with my wireless training department about DEI with neurodivergent folks. Wow. Is there an autism conference in the contiguous 48 Canada that you would recommend? So I've actually been kind of looking into an autism conference to see if there are any more. Because I went to AutFest with Taylor from Mom on the Spectrum, as many of you know, and that was good. It was small, but I know that I've seen Dan from Aspie World does one in Canada alongside Paige Lyall, but I don't know if they're going to be putting on another one, like if that was like a one-time thing. Some of you guys in the chat may know better than me. And let's see. I know there's one happening, I think, in like New Zealand. So my answer is I don't know, but I've kind of been keeping an eye out, but not enough that I've researched it enough to have an answer for you. But that's really cool. That's fascinating. I would love to go and talk to a corporation about being neurodivergent and what that means. Hi, Gemma. How are you? It's good to see you. Cats and Clopped, thank you for sticking around and not leaving and suffering through my previous chat. You're a real one. I appreciate you. That was I know that was a sacrifice, and I appreciate you. I just want you to know that. Um, Oh, Zach says that was definitely supposed to say my work, not my wireless. Well, what's weird is that I interpreted it as my work in my head. So, huh. All right. Very interesting. Um, okay. Yeah, we got one more subscriber, guys. I feel like this is an interesting time. I'm surprised to see that it does seem to be higher attendance when I do these things in the evening. So maybe that's kind of when more people's availability are around the world for some strange reason. Although Mike from Autistic AF, he's just, I don't think the man ever sleeps. He does these, 12-hour live streams. He hops on my live streams when I'm doing them at like 5 p.m. and it's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. his time. So I don't know. Maybe there's just a lot more freaks out there like Mike that just, sleep is for the dead, I guess. But um, so yeah, what would you guys want employers to know about you? I think that that would be a really good question to ask. What would you want employers, what accommodations, what a reasonable accommodations would you guys like employers to make for you? Um, Hell says, yeah, long live the nocturnal creatures. That is definitely me. Yeah, that is me. Um, Gemma's Journey Grace says employers need to understand that we need flexible working hours. Okay. Yeah, so I've talked about that before in my video on time blindness that, hey, if you have a projects based job where it's more of a matter of completing the task, then I think having flexible work hours, as long as you are a hard worker and getting your job done, which we are, us autistics definitely are hard workers, I feel like, um, then yeah, flexible work hours would be great in order to be able to take a step back when we need to. Um, Cats and Clop says, give me a job at first. Yep. It's hard to get past the interview stage. I know that's tough. If they could, if I'm getting to that point where I feel like I'm repeating information over and over again, but I know that they've done studies where when people have been interviewed over like text and they're able to, respond with their answers, that they are viewed as more desirable hires when they're autistic because we are dedicated, we're intelligent, yada yada yada. It's when they see us in person and have that in-person interview and they see that uncanny valley crap going on that they're like, their ideas about us kind of change, which sucks, but that's how it is. That's the issue. That's what I keep trying to drive home is that, we are intelligent, we, you know, meet all these criteria. It's just we're different societally, and that is what makes everything so hard for us. Um, Zach says my whole journey started because I asked for ADHD accommodation and they declined. What accommodations did you ask for, Zach? Because I know just from personally knowing you what a hard worker you are and how smart you are, and how much you care about your craft. So you're very dedicated and passionate. So yeah, I'd understand if it was like, because let's be real, there are people out there who make excuses and they're not hard workers and they just want to do the bare minimum. And that's not any of us here, right? But they exist, right? And so I could understand an employer being like, not looking favorably at somebody requesting accommodations when you can kind of tell that they don't give a crap about their job. Um, and maybe but when you're a hard worker, like 98% of us really truly are, and we care about our job so much, and you're asking for these small little things, it's not that that's when it's unreasonable that the employer, I mean, employers should be giving the employee the benefit of the doubt, right? But, we all know those people, but that sucks. Mike says it depends on the workplace, but going for office work, remote work, quiet workplaces, flexible hours, clear communications, agendaed meetings, and reduced or no interruptions, agreed KPIs, etc. Yep. Joe says, from the autistic rebel, just acknowledge us, period. Yeah. I got left out of a lot of after work functions, and that really sucked. I venture to say that my request, if I went back to work in an office environment, would be very minimal. It might be headphones. It might be reduced lighting. I don't want to sit under a flickering fluorescent light. And it would be patience and understanding of my social limitations, because I don't want to go and do the after hours meetings, bars, drinking, hobnobbing with the bosses. And if I have to do it, just realize that I'm not going to be the life of the party. Like, I think that's what I would ask for, but we're all so different. Lovely rainflower farm, headphones, permission to work alone, quiet space, safe space to stim. I agree with that. Gemma's Journey Grace says, I'm very lucky. I work for my local adult autism service, so I've got all the support I need. That's awesome. That is so cool. It's funny because, like, I've looked up, jobs like, I thought I would be like, window shopping if I did go back to working outside of the home or whatever. And I guess I'm just like, I look up autism so much that the job recommendations that are given to me are all like, autistic counselors, and, but a lot of it is like ABA, behavioral therapy stuff. And no, thank you. No, thank you. Oh, smile with me. Yay, just got my husband to subscribe as well. Thank you. You're the best. I did that for Claire when she was doing her push to 10K. I was somewhere over here, and I don't know why, but I always remember where I'm standing when things happen. My husband was in the kitchen, and I was like, hey, you need to just subscribe to Claire. And he did it, Claire from Woodshed Theory. And he was one of those that helped push her there. So, Smile, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're awesome. Oh, you're both autistic. Wow. I want to know how that works for you guys. I have so many questions because my husband's neurotypical, and yeah, this is something that we talk about a lot, like, would you prefer to be with a neurotypical or a neurodivergent? Because there's good and bad things about both that if you're both autistic, then you've got competing meltdowns, rigidity in certain areas that could cause fights, I feel like. But there's a whole lot of understanding that comes from a place that a neurotypical will never understand. But then, for neurotypicals, it's like, I mean, at least for my husband, he can kind of take care of me and meet my needs, and be the one to intercept people. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but that's really, really cool. All right, I'm still kind of going through some of your guys' responses on workplace accommodations that you would like to see. Just drop multiple big projects on me when I'm still working through other big ones. Gives me anxiety because I have to reprioritize my entire week. Yeah, I also hated in-person meetings. I felt like they were such a waste of time, and we never really discussed anything of value. It's it's like, you know how politicians and bureaucrats talk. They just they use 1,000 words without saying anything. That was every meeting I ever went to when I worked in an office space, and I would hate it because I would just want to get to the point and, point out the obvious and everything. And people would look at me real funny, so I just learned to be quiet in those meetings. Um, Zach says ability or allowance for me to turn off the lights in my office because they either buzz or flicker. What? This isn't the one I asked for, but it does annoy me. Yep, I just said that. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna scroll to the bottom so that I'm current with what everybody else is saying. All right. It's funny how, like, I start talking about a new subject and then I have to switch because then people in the comments are talking about the new thing. But we were kind of talking about, mixed neurotype relationships or same neurotype relationships and some of the challenges and benefits that you might have from either one. And Stephanie says, I'm my partner's caregiver. I love our partnership, but when I'm struggling with burnout, I definitely do wish there was someone to take care of me. It's hard. Yep. So that's what I get, so there's obviously the barrier of my communication style and my husband's communication style that we will never be able to overcome, but we have closed that gap as much as we possibly can. And I receive a whole lot of grace and patience and understanding. And I know that I'm lucky because not everybody gets that. I recognize that I am very lucky there. Jeffrey, hi Jeffrey. Oh, it's really cool to see all the little green names in here from my members. I'm sorry I haven't put anything out in a while, you guys. I've been struggling to get regular content out. A lot of it has just kind of been my mood and how I'm feeling, and um, it's been a rough couple of weeks for me. Just seasons of life, you know what I'm saying? Hey Furry, somebody said hi Furry. So I'm assuming Furry, that's Furry Slippers is in his house. All right. Um, so we're at 94. I think, the issue is that, like, probably everybody here is already subscribed, so kind of hard to subscribe twice. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure that that's a feature that YouTube offers. I'm pretty sure that they don't. Hell says, yeah, all of you have partners who stuck with you through the tough patches are so lucky. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's luck does not leave much to personal agency, because we all have that as well, to where, maybe we can notice the red flags in somebody, do what we can do, control what is within our control to make things work. But with that said, we can only control what is within our control. So people who are just crappy people that we happen to get with, there's nothing you can really do about that. And I think that there's a lot to say about, a lot of us find our person when we're younger, early 20s. And if you are autistic, you are automatically, for the most part, less mature. We are less mature than our neurotypical peers. And so you can get stuck with the wrong person because you're not mature enough to have that life experience, NT or ND, to know better. And so that is kind of, one area where luck can come in. And then, as you grow together, some people grow apart because you become a whole different person every decade. Um, Hi, Paul. Good to see you here. Um, so sorry, not trying to be all like Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to, point out both sides that sometimes we are lucky with the people that we get with because they could be yucky, bad people. And that is out of our control. And I think a lot of times, some people will have that pot committed mindset. I've already put a lot of money in here in the pot. I just got to keep going with it because I don't want to waste all that time that I've invested. Um, but more than anything, obviously, it's tough being in a relationship, period. And then you add neurodiversity into that, and that really shakes things up. So, yeah, the sunk cost fallacy, Scott says. Um, Anna says that she is subscribed to the channel. Thank you for that very much. I appreciate that. Um, uh, yeah, so that's what I was kind of starting to say is that, when I put my membership out there, if you guys join my membership, please just do it because you want to support my work. Because it is hard for me to get members only content out there, although I try to do it here and there when I can, and I'll just kind of share some interesting things that, happened to me during the week, just a little bit more informal behind the scenes stuff that, don't make great content for a long form video, but kind of gives you a glimpse into my life. But, I might get one out once a month. I might get one out once every other month. Because obviously I want to be able to focus on getting some of my long form content out for you guys too. Claire is in the house. Hi, Claire. I'm sorry. I should do that for all of you. That's not right. Pretend I did that for all of you guys, okay, when you joined. No, it's an honor because, Claire is like that magical elven creature that you think you spot her in the woods and then like you blink and she's gone. So she'll pop in every once in a while and then you don't see her. And if she hops on the live streams, that's a major, that's a great thing. Okay, so the only thing about like doing this in the morning is like if I would have done this in the evening, I could have had a celebratory beer or something once we hit 12K. But I'm going to be able to celebrate now is water. I mean, I could day drink, but that's very irresponsible of me. Very irresponsible. I don't know how people do that. I have done it once or twice in my life and it was awful. It was awful. I mean, I already get tired after socializing like 3 p.m., but you had so I went for a girlfriend's bachelorette party and we went up to the hot springs, which was cool. And it was like 10 a.m. and everybody started drinking. And I was like, what is this? I just had my coffee. Like, I don't think those things mix. That ain't right. Oh, hey, DJ. It's good to see you here. Thank you for listening while you're at work. We were just talking about workplace accommodations and stuff like that. So I apologize if my much ado about nothing is not very entertaining, but it's background noise at least, something. Carla says wine tasting encourages day drinking. LOL. I have done that. I have done a wine tasting before, but it was in the evening. But it was really fun. Wine tasting, if you guys have never done it, it is fun. So we have this winery that near us where you can actually, they have so many interesting flavors. They've got like very fruity banana. They have like a banana wine. And it's cool to just sit down and try all these different flavors that were really, really delicious. And they've got some made up ones that is very exclusive to them. That there was one called Diablo, and it was a red wine. I would venture to say it's kind of like a Merlot. Let me sound like I know a lot about wine right now. It's kind of like a Merlot, full-bodied Merlot. And we brought some to our family, my husband's family in Utah. Okay, I can't carry that voice on forever. And they all loved it so much that they would ask us to bring it every time we went out there, and then they would just give us cash for, so like we'd have to like pack all of our suitcases and like a suitcase full of this wine that they couldn't get anywhere else, but that was cool. um so yeah. um Shane said we New Yorkers call that brunch. Oh man. um I will say a decent hair of the dog remedy is Bloody Marys. Man, I'm sitting so crooked. I don't know why I'm doing that. After a night of drinking, a Bloody Mary is pretty decent. It's good. Man, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to contribute to delinquency here, guys. Disclaimer. Us autistics and ADHDers are more likely to rely on substances and to abuse substances. So don't do it. But every once in a while, it's fine. Um, but there was one time in Vegas, whew, man, double shots of Patron. I was seeing doubles literally, and I was crying because I thought I was having a supernatural experience. But I will say, I will give myself credit for being a pretty fun, because you know how everybody has their type if they've drank too much. They get argumentative and they want to fight people, or they become that I love you, man. You know, that guy. We've all been that guy. I love you, man. I no, really, I don't think you understand how much I love you. I really, really love you. Um, but I feel like I am super self-aware, so I don't become the argumentative drunk. I don't want to fight people. I'm just very easygoing and smiley for the most part. Um, but I will become a little bit more absolute in the things that I'm saying. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, like more like firm about what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's about it. So, hey gamer. Um Gamer said, I have heard that from many people around cannabis that yeah, so I'm guessing Shane probably said something about cannabis being helpful. And actually, my husband was just telling me last night that he watched one of Thomas Henley's videos, and he was talking about cannabis use and autism, and that they've done a study that it's helpful for autistic people. I don't know what the metrics were. I don't know what, I assume it was a self-reported study. So I haven't looked into any of this, but I know that there are, you know, a lot of things that people find to be helpful. And as long as you're, using it responsibly, I would not suggest alcohol as one of those things, but certainly, I know people are beginning to research cycloben a lot more. Um, if you guys have not checked out TJ Zamboni's video on this, I think he did a very good video on the subject of autism and his experience with cyclobens. Some people microdose. Again, not encouraging. I'm just saying that our brain types are so different, and so we respond differently to these things. And I don't know why I'm going down this path of it was because I said that I can't celebrate 12K with a beer, so I'll be celebrating with a water because it's too early. Um, all right, Gamer says, I have heard that cannabis can relieve pain and help calm some people with their anxiety or stress, and so perhaps it does make sense it could be beneficial to autistic folk. Shane says it's illegal where I am, and my doctor and therapist and husband approve. Um, so yeah, it's, as many of you guys know, it's legal in a lot of the states for recreational use. Um, Not that many. I don't know. Should I Google that? How many states allow it for recreational use here in the US? But many states that allow it for medicinal use, for like pain management and stuff like that. um, on Klepko says, Yosemite Sam made a great video on her supervised and legal experience with magic mushrooms. Yes. So I definitely want to caution you guys on that. Obviously, you can get into a lot of trouble if it's not legal in your state. I know here in Colorado, they decriminalized it, but that does not mean legal. And a lot of people heard that and ran with it, and they're like, all right, so I can grow it and sell it, right? Nope. That is not what that means. That means they lower it on the priority list of, police resources being used to prosecute it, but it does not mean you will not be prosecuted or that you won't get into trouble for these things. I really wish that, media would do a better job of like explaining these consequences to the general public, because there are a lot of people who don't understand legalities, especially the younger you are, the less you understand about, contract law, legalities, your local laws and regulations. So be careful. Don't get yourself into trouble. But I think it's okay for us to talk about these things here. Yeah. So Autistic Rebel says it helps as anxiety is the issue. Yeah, I was going to say that. Not everyone thought as it could have the opposite effect. Smickety Smoo, what is up, my friend? Hi from the Netherlands. Only just got home, but glad I got to join. It's really good to see you. This is the first morning-ish live stream that I've done. I usually do it in the evenings around 5, 6, 7 p.m. my time. So I thought I would hop on and see, give other people who may not otherwise be able to join an opportunity to join, but doing it at a different time. But it's good to see a lot of new people here, because there are some names in here that I haven't seen before. So yeah, with cannabis being legal here, it is not legal to take, so it's still federally illegal, and so you cannot take it out of the state. And so I have heard, rumor has it, urban legend has it, that along the street to our airport, people will just throw it out their car windows because they're headed to the airport and they didn't get to use it before they left. And so there are scavengers who will just walk along the road to the airport and find it. That's what I've heard. I have not personally witnessed this, but people tell me that this is a thing because they don't want to get caught with it. There have been, to my knowledge, I don't think our airport really cracks down on it. Don't quote me on that. But, the minute you leave with it, you're in big trouble when you get home. So don't do it, man. It's not worth it. Zach says, our work sent an email out when it became legal, letting everyone know that if they partake in a place where it's legal and come back and they fail a drug test, they will still be fired. Yeah. I mean, my husband's work is the same. It's still federally illegal here. So, I think people get overly excited when they hear stuff like, oh, it's legal now. Yeah, all right, woo, party. But it's not like that. No, no parties, no parties. Um, Check your local regulations and workplace rules, etc., so that you don't get yourself fired. Because yeah, my husband's work is the same way. They do random drug tests here and there because they work with heavy equipment and machinery and stuff like that. So you cannot, be compromised when you're working with heavy equipment. um, Somebody posted a meme once that made me laugh so hard because they said that, like, they talk about how medication always says do not operate heavy equipment on this medication, and my mind always goes to forklift, and I was like, mine too. Like, they're probably talking about, like, your regular car that you drive and stuff like that, but like you're always like, oh yeah, no forklifts for me if I take this medication. I don't know what that strikes me as so funny. Late diagnosed autism. Hi. She says, hi, Jen. Hi, late diagnosed. Is Claire saying anything in here, or is she just hanging out, or did she leave already? The elusive. Oh, yes. Okay. Claire. Hi, you're still here. Oh my gosh, the elusive creature, Claire. How many more subs do we need to get, Jen, today? Thank you. So, Claire, I was just telling them, because one of the people in here said that they had their husband subscribe to help me reach my goal. And I said, I did the same thing with my husband when Claire was doing her 10K live. But you didn't mean to do your 10K live stream. Orion forced you to. Poor Claire, man. Orion, that meanie. No, Orion started doing a live stream and Claire jumped in there and he found out that she was almost to 10K and he was like, we're ending this right now. Claire, jump on, do a live stream. Of course, Claire did it of her own volition. Claire does not do anything that Claire does not want to do. But, so she was like, oh, that, it's just spur of the moment. You hopped on. Am I remembering this correctly? And I had my husband subscribe so that we could help you get there. And now he watches your content and talks to me about it. We have lots of discussions about videos that we watch. Do you guys ever do that? You guys like watch YouTube videos and then you talk about it like with your spouse later on? Hi, Felix. Stay crazy, everyone. Are you saying hello or goodbye? Are you saying like stay crazy, everyone, like, hey, I'm here? Or are you saying stay crazy, everyone, like, bye, I gotta go? Or are you just saying that? I don't know. I'm reading too much into that. Ow. Oh, Zach said he was there for that live stream. Yeah, that's how I remembered it. Claire said that was so nice of him. We got to 10K so fast that day. It was really fun. It was. That was a very memorable live stream for me because here I am remembering it. And now look, Claire's here supporting me, so I really appreciate that. Claire, when I first started out, I needed eight more subscribers, and then somebody unsubscribed. It hurt my heart. And then I don't know if they like resubscribed or what, but I'll tell you what, man, it kind of hurts your feelings when somebody unsubscribes. I don't see it as much as I used to now because the numbers are getting a little bit higher. But in the beginning, when you are fighting hard for every damn subscriber, and Claire, I'm sure you can chime in on this, you notice when you lose one. Like when you're in like the, less than 100 or like over 100, when you lose one, And I remember one day I lost one or two or something like that. And it just like shattered my world. And I was actually like looking up YouTube videos on how to cope with losing subscribers because it hurts your feelings. And I know that it shouldn't because I'm not a fit for them. You know, if they unsubscribe, I'm a fit for a ton of other people. And it's like, you know, you have all these other people who want to be here, and you're focusing on the one that chose to leave, and it's not even a reflection of you. You know, it doesn't mean that you're doing something horrible or awful. I mean, it could, but you know, sometimes you're just not their cup of tea. I know I do a lot of like silly edits in my videos that people may not like. You know, we all have different styles, and even cadence, and you know, your voice can turn people off. I hope my voice doesn't turn anybody off, because I can't help that, guys. I was born with this voice. This is all I got. I can't change that. But you know, you have no idea. But there was a piece of me that I was like, I really, I really I want an exit interview. Like, I want to sit these people down and be like, all right, please tell me what I could improve on to earn your business next time. Could you let me know what wasn't working for you? You know, I wish you luck on your next adventures out there in YouTube, subscribing to other YouTubers. You know, I wish you all the best, and I'm happy to give you a great recommendation. But just so I can improve on myself in the future, if you could let me know what I could improve on, what you would like to see for future subscribers. You know, like that's, I need that. Oh, Shane said your voice is awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I saw late diagnosed autism says, I now have 20 subscribers. Yes, so late diagnosed. I recently put a call to action for people who have channels with less than 5,000 subscribers. If you want to be listed on my website, to reach out to me, it costs you $0. Uh, you know, and I do know that there are, I mean, like, you know, the Autistic Rebel, I know that you are on here, you've got your own content too, but I am not going to add you onto my resources page unless you ask me to. So I only, but anyway, so late diagnosed autism is a newer content creator, and they now have 20 subscribers. So yay, congratulations. We'll do our next live stream for you, late diagnosed, so that we can get you to 100 subscribers. I have not had the chance to check everybody out. I'm not going to lie. I am obviously trying to help smaller subscribers, which feels, I mean, who am I? You know, like it, yeah, I don't want you guys to get the wrong idea where I'm like, I'm such a big YouTuber, let me help people. I am not a big YouTuber myself either, but that doesn't matter. We're all trying to help each other here. And that is what matters, right? So if you guys are on here and you have a channel and you autism content, okay, because I felt so horrible because I messed up when I first put that out. And I just said, if you have a channel with content and have less than 5,000 subscribers, reach out to me. And then I had a couple of people who do awesome content. One of them was like race cars and stuff like that, I think. And that was really, really cool. But I meant autism, you know, or neurodiversity in general. And I was like, ooh, you messed up, Jennifer, because that was not their fault. That was mine. And then, of course, I felt like the worst person ever. But anyways, autism, ADHD, dyspraxia, dyslexia, whatever, neurodiversity content. You guys are gonna think I've been drinking this early in the morning because I can't talk. I can't talk. I'm doing my best here. Furry slippers, Jen, I'm not putting you on the spot. Just wanted to make you aware that I messaged you in Insta. No pressure though. Thank you for letting me know. I have not seen it. I had to change my settings. Ow. I had to change my settings in Instagram for only reciprocal subscribe. Like if I'm also, I don't know. I think I might have to look and see if yours came through, because I was just getting a lot of weird messages, you know, and I'm sure a lot of girls out there can relate to the random video caller guys. Just that, what is their end game? That's what I want to know. You know, like, do they really think I'm just going to pick up? I have no idea who you are, and you're randomly video calling me, and I'm going to pick up and we're going to have a conversation and I don't know, become best friends, like start talking about favorite foods, get really close, go meet each other's families. I mean, what are they looking for when they I've I've been tempted to answer just to see what the hell they would do. Cuz I bet you they'd be like, oh, nobody's ever picked up before. You know, like how I like to mess with scammers and spammers and stuff like that. You know, waste a little bit of their time. I'm wasting my own time too, but it's entertainment value for me. So kind of along those lines, I just want to pick it up and be like, hey, how's it going? Start carrying on a conversation with them, see what they would do. Wouldn't that be fascinating? Um, Anna, Anna said, answer and ask if they know Jesus. Yes. Do you guys watch TikTok? Where's that one TikTok that's like, sorry, maybe I should take that out. There's a TikTok out there that has it's a TikTok soundbite that's like, don't run from the Lord. And so, I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, but at all whatsoever. But my husband and I will do that to each other once in a while, like, don't run from the Lord. um, so Hell says, yeah, but can you please record it and show it to us later? So I actually did record myself at one point messing with this annoying it was like a promotional products sales company. I never finished up turning it into a video, but maybe I'll have to just for you guys. Let me tell you how this went. Oh, it's beautiful story. Beautiful story. You guys are going to love this. So I made the mistake of, allowing this company to send me 20 free pens, like pens, writing pens, with my company logo on it, because it was free, right? The pens were crap. They didn't even write good, and but then they knew that they had me, and they would call me daily from different numbers, and I would keep blocking them, and they would just keep calling. They would not stop. They would call from different numbers every single day, and I was about to lose my mind. So I finally got to the point where, because it was happening every day, I had my camera set up and I was just waiting for them to call that day. And so he started talking about pens, and it's like, again, what is your end game? Because if I am annoyed with you, and I've told you guys several times to stop calling me, and you realize you are having to call me from different numbers every time, do you really think I'm just suddenly going to be like, oh, okay, you know what? Yes, I do want to order from you. So anyways, this guy was like talking about pins and putting my logo on them and, ordering them in bulk. So I just started playing stupid. I was like, you mean like play pins? And he was like, no, pens, writing pens. And I was like, safety pens? No, like pens that you write on paper with. And I was like, what would be really awesome is if we could get like sewing pins or push pins. But honestly, I don't know how you guys are going to print that tiny on the top of those little pin heads, my logo, but could you guys make that happen? Could you make that happen? And he was like, pins. He hung up on me, you guys. I got him to hang up on me. Yes. And I do have that recorded somewhere, so maybe I will drudge that little gem up and turn that into a website exclusives video. And then we've had Claire thought that was funny. Thank you, Claire. I like that. So then we have had you post stuff on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, and you get those people that send you those messages like, hey, I need to verify that you're a real person, so I'm going to send you a code. And, they always are ambiguous in how they respond to you. I am interested in your item. Your item looks to fit my needs exactly. I would like to purchase your item that you have for sale. What item? So, yeah, I've messed around with them a couple of times too. And I know I'm not shutting anybody down, right? Like we're not changing the world, but like I said, it's entertainment value for me. Hi Isabella, it's good to see you. Oh no, I'm getting sing-songy like Claire from Woodshed Theory. That's her shtick. That can't be my shtick. I mean, it could be my shtick. But I'm not trying to make it my thing. Um, all right, so everybody, here, if you did not see what my goal is here, we're trying to get to 12K. Hell says music makes everything better. I agree. Music moves me a lot. Oh, Zach says, when people are that ambiguous, I love when people message back asking for which of two items they're talking about, and both are hilariously embarrassing. A shape of soup. Internet friends. That's Claire's porch coffee segment song, um, which I like. Claire, when she does her porch coffees, she talks about what's going on in her week, and then we're supposed to tell her in the comments what is going on in our week. And I like to read through those comments sometimes because you're just reminded how not alone you are in the normalcies of everyday life. Like some people were talking about their air conditioner breaking down and stuff like that. I just had my dryer break down, which is very annoying, the heating element on it. And so now I'm having to spend 2 hours to dry things because it's still working. There's just no heat. So it's like air drying with cold air. So we're trying to get that fixed. Cat is leaving us. Is that Cats and Clop? Bye, Cat. Okay, bye, Cat. Thank you for sticking around. Like I said, I appreciate you. Tammy says, sometimes we have to. It's free entertainment. Yes. All right, you guys, listen. I need full attention. All right, I have an assignment. We're still 5 away. All right, so if you guys have any friends or family, reach out to them and tell them, look, brother, sister, whoever, there's this really annoying blonde chick on YouTube that will not shut up. And I need you to make this stop. So if you could just subscribe to her so that this annoying live stream will stop, I'd appreciate it. I mean, I'm just trying to help you guys out here. All right, now everybody's just saying hello to each other. Listen, brother, let me tell you the good news of neurodivergence. Hallelujah. She's got this channel where she suddenly started singing on a live stream, and she doesn't normally do that. Praise the Lord. Late diagnosis, you are too funny. I aim to please. I try to. Funny, weird, probably not funny, haha. At least, I don't know. I think I'm funny, ha to you guys because you guys get me, because you guys are my neurodivergent fam. But when I get out there in the world, it's funny, weird. It's funny, weird. Okay, yeah, Softly Crumbling Castle says I can only sub once. I know. I don't fault you guys for only being able to sub one time. That's completely understandable. But I appreciate you guys being subbed. If we don't get to 12K before the end of this live stream, I will post something about it later if I'm able to hit it today. But either way, I just, I obviously, if you really want to grow, you've got to, what is it Orion's always saying? Something about a sausage factory. Like you've got to make sausages in the sausage factory. I don't know. I think that means you're supposed to, like, because you got to put out content once a week to appease the YouTube algorithm gods. And I definitely don't do that, because it takes a lot for me to put my videos together. Um, so, I mean, I just need to get with it. But as a lot of you guys know, I actually have other jobs as well, and I'm a full time mom. Because I manage and clean 3 Airbnb properties, in addition to being a mom and stuff like that. So when I get to videos, it is in my pockets of time, and that is that. Chris says, are most people here autism and ADHD? I am both, by the way. Oh, Claire says you are doing amazing. Thank you, Claire. You are too. Um, Actually, Claire, I want to, because I know that you and I both kind of, because Claire and I are personal friends, personal real life friends also. We have become friends after, you know, meeting each other through YouTube. We were not friends before that. And Claire, I value Claire's friendship immensely, but obviously we're able to talk about some of these things with both being content creators, the ups and downs and stuff like that. But I was speaking to somebody the other day who brought up something very, 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 very impactful for me. And they said that when you get your diagnosis, who you were before your diagnosis and what you try to do at work, we try to hold ourselves to neurotypical standards unknowingly as far as productivity goes, because we're not yet diagnosed and we just can't figure out why things are harder for us, but we are holding ourselves to neurotypical standards and we are trying to get work done and be as productive as everybody else, because we don't understand how our brain works. And then we get diagnosed and we're still, now we know why we are the way that we are, and we begin to learn that we need breaks and that we work differently, and we are still in the back of our minds holding ourselves to those neurotypical productivity standards. And I thought I was giving myself grace for needing to take time away, not subjecting myself to hanging out with, socializing when I don't feel like it, asking my husband for help where I need it. I really thought I was making accommodations. And I realized after that was posited to me that I was making accommodations for myself and giving myself grace and patience in my everyday life, but not in my professional life. I was still expecting the same neurotypical standards of myself in my professional life. So I've been chewing on that the past couple of days, but it's really hard to, it's hard to do. It's really hard to do. DJ Black says, at my new job, I told them I am autistic, and they actually seem to expect less of me than I am capable of. My boss's son is autistic, so they treat me like a child. Yep. That unfortunately becomes a side effect of telling people. And that's why telling people at work is a very personal decision, because they do look at you different. They can look at you differently after that, or infantilize you, and none of those things are good. I've experienced that myself, and I haven't told a ton of people. I haven't had a professional career since my diagnosis to tell people. Smile with Me says, myself and my husband are only diagnosed autistic, and it's different diagnosis to get ADHD. We might both have ADHD as well. We are both over 50. Yes. So I had and that goes back to somebody earlier was asking if everybody in here had the dual diagnosis. A lot of us do. I feel like almost everybody at least has autism or autism and ADHD. I don't know that I've got a ton of subscribers that just have ADHD because they may not really resonate to my content since I talk about autism so much. But I would be curious to know if there's anybody out there that just has the ADHD. Paul says, I'm still waiting for the doctor to see me, but I realized watching Jen that I could be both, and that crushed my ability to deny the autism. Okay, so Paul, you actually, it sounds like, only have the ADHD diagnosis. Hey, Joe, the other Joe, Butterflies in Space Joe. Good to see you here, man. Joe likes to send me funny memes, and they brighten my day, so I appreciate that, Joe. And Butterflies in Space, Joe recently came out with a card game, right? And I think you are doing it's called, what is it called? Butterfly Rescue. And I think you're putting it out in a Kickstarter, right? Let me know, Joe. Kickstarter campaign, yes, and it's called Butterfly Rescue, right? Um, so I'm sure you guys could Google that, Butterflies in Space, Butterfly Rescue, and you might find Joe's Kickstarter campaign. Yeah, Butterfly Space Rescue. All right. So shout out for that if you guys want to go and check that out. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Butterflies in Space Joe. Oh man. Back in my 20s, I remember being in a club of some sort, and I asked the DJ if he would play that song. I don't even know why. And he was like, ma'am, I do not think people are drunk enough for that. All right, I tried. Anyways, yes, I like that, Claire. That was good. I myself enjoy turning everything into a song. All right, guys. It has been an hour and a half, and I think I'm going to go because I do have other stuff I need to get done with my day. We are still 5 away from hitting my goal. So if you guys could go out there into the world and ask people to subscribe, that would be fabulous. But if not, I'm not trying to do that annoying thing. I'm just like trying to stick with the theme. I feel like that's what I feel more obligated to do is like, I'm like, well, this is how you set this up. So you gotta push that theme through now. I don't really care. I am just grateful that all of you are here. And I know that like 90% of you are already subscribed. Yeah, Zach said, should I ask people in the Discord to subscribe? Tell them to double subscribe. I'm positive they are all subscribed, so that's why that is funny. That is the joke. If everybody makes an extra account, obviously I will get there, you know, hopefully later on today. But if not, I just really want to tell you guys how much I appreciate all of you and value all of you as subscribers, because I really truly do believe that, you know, everybody that's here is already subscribed. And so you guys can't subscribe anymore than you already have. So thank you everybody for being here. Claire, it was lovely to see you here. Zach, James, Isabella, Stephanie, Claire says she's cheering me on. Joe from Butterflies in Space, Dylan, Shane, everybody, Carla, I'm sorry. I know there are so many more people in here that I'm going to miss. But I appreciate having you guys as my people and that I can just hop on here and chat with you every once in a while. It was fun. So I will see you guys in the next live stream. Bye for now. Mwah.